Caution. This episode contains coarser language and subject matter than is found in the typical episode of State of the Federation. In addition, all views of guest contributors to State of the Federation represent their own personal views and do not constitute the views of this podcast. Space, the final frontier.
This is the podcast of State of the Federation.
Its ongoing mission
To explore strange new ships.
To seek out new builds and new combinations.
to boldly go where no fleet has gone before.
Hello there, citizens of the Federation, and welcome back to another episode of State of the Federation. I'm your host, Tucker, and with me today I have my co-host, Joseph. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Softball go well?
Yeah, we had a big win, blew out the other team. And
Was this the evil commissioner's team?
no, it was a bunch of old guys who have the discipline to just hit singles, so they're hard to beat.
Ah, but you beat them because they're old.
Exactly. So we
Exactly.
avoided that shame.
Exactly. And with me, I have two special guests, and they are actually physically with me, which is a little weird because for those who don't know, when we do this show, I'm recording in Los Angeles. Robert, who's not with us tonight, is recording in San Francisco, and Joseph's recording in Canada. But we actually have here. I have two guests tonight. The first is my girlfriend, Ida. So, Ida, say hello.
Hello. I don't know these people.
Oh, okay. And why don't you introduce yourself, Ida?
Hi, I'm Tucker's girlfriend. I just started, I'm trying to play this game. We'll get into that later.
And what is your background with Star Trek?
Andromeda initially, but I do recall some vague episodes of Next Gen reruns that I would watch with my mom, and about half of Enterprise from when I was, 10, 11, whenever
Something
that
like
show
that,
went
yeah.
on? Yeah. That's about it. Oh, and I've been binging TSO and
TOS.
whatever. And I'm beginning of season 4 of Next Gen.
Yeah, we're on season 4 of Next Gen. We still haven't seen the movies because they're not on Netflix anymore, and like hell we're paying for them on Amazon.
You know it's worth it. You know you'll watch them again.
Wait, what's the point getting Amazon Prime if we can't even watch any of the shows on there?
Well, some of them are free, just not any of the ones we want to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you also have just heard some commentary from our other guest, my good friend Veronica. So,
Star Trek background. Definitely a Star Trek
I feel
background.
off stage.
it's
So-
funnier because she's tiny.
Oh, so my name is Veronica. I'm 31. I'm a huge nerd, kind of. I don't know.
Yes,
like,
you are. Shut up.
I know. I like Star Trek. I'm also a ham radio operator, and I'm an EMT, and I've worked in finance. So that's my background.
Actually,
That's
true
the
story.
trifecta.
You were the
Youngest ham radio operator in the world
yep.
when I was 5. So
Yeah.
that was exciting. And then the Star Trek background, started watching Next Gen with my dad. I've watched all of the series. I went on the Star Trek cruise last year because I'm a major nerd.
She went to the Star Trek Con in Las Vegas once and got me the promo code for. I think you got me both years, right? You got me the EMH one for Stowe,
Yep.
and then you got me the original series Bridge Crew for Stowe. So that was neat of her.
Yeah. And then I got checked out by John Delancey, and my boyfriend got to glare at him. That was exciting.
You didn't tell me that part.
Oh, sorry.
you just
was
told me the
fun.
part about Terry Farrell checking you out.
Yeah, she's hot. I talked with her a lot. She was a good person.
She's more qualified to run this podcast than you, Tucker.
Actually, she is. She was. Right now, we've basically got the most ridiculously jury-rigged microphone and recording setup ever, and she's looking at it with a face of minor abject horror.
I just don't know what to do with myself. That's all.
Anyway, so the purpose here tonight is both Ida and Veronica are very, very new to Attack Wing, and actually they both basically just learned the game. And
I wouldn't say that, but
We have a broad understanding.
I read the rule book today.
well, theoretically, they understand how to play Attack Wing.
Well, and the reason why I think the reason why we're having this podcast is when I learned what Attack Wing was, Tucker explained it to me. It's a really complicated game, which I'm used to role playing games. I play D&D.
Yes,
I'm
does.
used to turn-based games and combat with dice and blah 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 and how all that works. So the fact that he was like, no, this is really difficult. I'm like, well,
I didn't say difficult. I said complicated.
fine, complicated. Sorry, I misspoke. But it's something that it's just like, well, how difficult can it be? And so, if people are trying to get in this game and they don't know what it is, I think that this might be a good way for them to figure out, hey, it is complicated, or, oh, it's pretty easy. Just based off of two people that haven't played the game, reading the rule book, and having a WTF attitude about it.
And maybe not feel so alone in their frustration.
It is a little frustrated. You can't see her face, but she has a frustrated face. This is her frustrated face. It's slowly turning into her I want to be annoyed at my boyfriend because he knows me too well face, but it started as the frustrated face.
It'll be great on the air, so let's keep it keep it
It'll
going.
Absolutely.
If you want, I can take some sketches during it, and you guys can post it up to go along, like a picture with the podcast.
I don't know, that feels like it might be a little sketchy. That was her, not me.
Don't encourage him.
Oh, does he do that?
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. It's
Right.
because I drank from your cup.
What?
It's just nothing.
Okay, well, this is spiraling wildly out of control. So, on the note of the actual things we're going to talk about, the first thing, so you both did just read through the rule book recently, right?
Yes.
So the first thing we wanted to ask is, do you have any questions?
Why, yes, I do. I was actually surprised to see that there were only 3 factions. And this is one thing that I was reading through and then got very frustrated, because it's very clear in reading through all of the rules. You have the Federation, you have the Klingons, you have the Romulan. And then midway, like way far down in the rules, when it's talking about initiative, it goes over the faction order where it says Federation, Klingon, Romulan, cool, because that's what we covered. And then it goes on to show Dominion, Borg, Species 8472, Kazon, Bajoran, Ferengi, Independence, Mirror Universe. However, there's only 3 players, and then only lists the other 3 factions, so then it's like,
Why the hell did Ferengi and Dead last?
That's actually a really good... I think it was because Ferengi came before Mirror Universe and they just tacked Mirror on at the end. This also isn't a complete list, by the way.
Also, it says...
Ferengi came before 8472.
No, not in the show, in release order.
Also, my favorite is, if players cannot agree, randomly assign factions.
Yes, so Joseph, here's the new strategy, okay? This is... Where is this in the rules?
Set up. Like,
Okay.
page 5.
What
Page 5. You ready for this? Read it again.
If players cannot agree, randomly assign factions.
Okay, so what you need to do, Joseph, is the next time you're stuck against an opponent that has a build you don't like, you should be like, I think you should play Ferengi.
Where is this on the
Setup in page 5.
Yeah, but which I'm looking at. I'm gonna.
Number 1, choose a faction. It's like second
right.
sentence in.
If players cannot agree, randomly assign faction.
But Tucker was saying that like all the time it's Federation faction versus Federation faction.
It's not all the time. It's a possibility, and it was in the World Championship. But
So how's that possible if it implies that, the factions have to fight against each other? You can't have friendly fire.
War games or mind control aliens.
No, she's right.
So this is
I'm doing this.
Those are special. But those are like,
Wait,
I feel like those
Joseph,
are
you wanna
special
win on a
situations.
technicality?
You're technically correct. The best kind of correct.
The best.
So basically, you're going to be in a world championship, and you're going to be like, I'm Federation. They're like, well, I want Federation. It's like, well, now you're just going to have to randomly pick a faction then.
Well, you could go. I think you should not be Federation. I think you should be Ferengi, and they'll be like, what? I don't understand. I'm playing this
There's
list.
now.
And
There's now a tactical advantage for me telling someone that I believe that their Enterprise is Bajoran faction.
Is this based on the ship identifying as Bajoran?
Well, it's based on what? Yeah, I might just start there, but
So someone can have an entire Federation sleep with Federation captains and just say, well, they all identify as Romulan. What
and
do
it,
you want me to do?
I feel like there's going to be a faction of Bajorans at that point that aren't going to want to accept the Enterprise into their bathroom.
that's right.
Damn
Don't bring
soul.
politics into it. That was my Tucker voice.
Yeah.
That was my Tucker voice.
Yeah, we try to avoid that and fail.
Don't bring politics into it, Joseph. That's what he always says to me.
That is not what I always say to you. I say
I hear it often enough through the bedroom.
Thank you.
Lock me in
Thank
every
you.
time you do this.
Wait.
Thank you for your
Never
support.
mind.
no, it. So for those,
I was trying to differentiate whether you heard it in the bedroom while he was recording this, or you just heard it in the bedroom a lot, which would also be weird.
No.
I hear you trying different things in the bedroom.
Just no politics. Stop bringing up politics. Like, Ida, what are you doing?
This was a bad idea. Why
No
did I
one's-
suggest this?
No one stopped talking for a couple minutes, so we can't get an editing break to get rid of this because it needs to stay in.
shut up.
Editing break? No one needs an editing break. You
Ugh.
don't need no stinking editing
Tucker,
break.
I'm going to listen to this one, and if this part isn't in here, there's going to be things.
I'm gonna flag it as inappropriate on iTunes.
No, please don't do that. We have enough trouble with that.
Wait, who is flagging this as being inappropriate on iTunes?
So remember
Angry
that discussion
fans.
we were just having about factions? Well,
Let's all hold hands and all get along, and let's talk about playing this game. Anyway,
Yeah,
set up.
so-
Hey, let's do what Gene Roddenberry says, and no inner strife whatsoever.
yeah. Ida got a lot happier with Next Generation when Gene Roddenberry stopped being an active voice in his production.
You know,
As she should.
I will never forget that.
It's night and day.
It is night and day.
Okay,
Alright.
so I guess to circle back around, so not that the rules here say it, but how it basically should work, to clarify your point, is that each ship is activated based on its faction. Your whole fleet doesn't have a faction.
It does, though. Look at the build sheets.
Yeah, and they're left blank.
Wait, what is your fleet?
Okay.
You
so,
have one ship, and then you have your captain card.
Apparently, you get 3 ships or more.
What the f? That's not in the rules.
It is in the back in the section called fleet building.
Which is very minor and arguably the most important part of the game, and they do little to explain anything.
The way
It's a
that
f***ing mess.
the way that these
Wait,
rules
what?
are set up,
I would prefer you didn't because I'm going to have to edit it.
just do a
I've
beep.
heard that word
Just do a
before.
beep.
Yeah,
over
just
it.
do a beep over it.
Only
Wait, who hasn't
because
heard this word before?
only because this is marked as clean on iTunes. Okay.
Frack you, Tucker.
Good. This
No,
is good.
so but the way that the rules are laid out, like if you're just like, I want to play this game, let me sit down and read these rules. Well, I guess it's. I'm a nerd and I'm totally gonna make fun of nerds. It's totally a game for nerds because it assumes that you only have 1 to 2 friends and no more. Because it's like a 2-player setup or 3-player setup. What? You like Star Trek? There's no fracking way you have 3 other friends. Let's just limit it to 2, if that. Because it shows you 2-player setup or 3-player setup. There's no like adaptation for more players.
Oh, no, and then the back it goes into teams. I don't understand.
So theoretically, 4 people could play this game.
But it hasn't been done.
Because it knows it's a far-fetched theory. It's like,
No, these guys had like sloppy craftsmanship. Sorry, I applied to Tolkien every time. Peel back a few layers, does it still make sense? No, then it's not worth my time.
I don't feel like Tolkien's a great example of that.
Of what?
He wrote 10,000 years of geography, history, language, and evolution, in addition to Lord of the Rings. That's mad respect right there. Like, there are 10 volumes of history. It's awesome. I'm only halfway through number 4.
Yeah.
so
It's a
all right.
perfect example,
All right,
Tucker.
hold on.
You're going off the rails, man. You're losing control of this podcast.
But all right, hold on.
That is
back again.
definitely
You
the
have-
case.
The rules. Sorry, go ahead.
You
Joseph.
have been wrong on every. You've been on the wrong side of history on every topic so far tonight.
Question? How do planet tokens get placed, and can I place a planet where I want to?
You may.
To be fair, the planet tokens aren't even in the setup. You're just in a nebula. That's it.
Oh, right, because of the quick.
Go ahead, Joseph. I'm sorry.
Yes. There are. This answer is not gonna make you happy, but you can put the planet token anywhere on the map, except it can't be within range 1 to 2 of the side of the map. And those.
So I could literally put a planet in between me and Miami.
It
That's
is.
awesome. Why doesn't everyone have the superpower?
But wait, aren't the planets placed prior to gameplay even starting?
It just says. It doesn't clarify.
Well, you can't be like, all right, you put your ships down, you're starting to play, and you're like, look, a planet appeared. Like, it's not.
Hang
well,
on.
I mean, depending on the
Hey,
timeline,
they
I
do all the
guess.
time. It could happen.
Hang on.
Or a giant
Joseph.
green space hand put it there. It could
I
happen.
can't find a thing that says when you're supposed to put obstacles.
This is what I mean by coffee.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. It's under adding obstacles to a standard game, and then a planet is a kind of obstacle. It says during setup. Okay, wait, hang on. Joseph, check this out.
Wait, you're on page 22?
I'm on page 22.
Jesus.
Okay.
I skip around to the areas that just don't make sense.
Listen, Joseph. It says during setup, before the gather forces step, the players can agree to use obstacles for the game. Doesn't that technically mean you could add them to literally any OP scenario up to and including Worlds?
I think that they have something about tournament rules overriding.
Then what is the point of having these rules if you can't use them in the tournament?
Well, there's would be no point.
Where are the planet?
I'm talking about like the major tournaments. There are monthly tournaments where all this would apply, which has to do with the complex ecosystem of how people play this game. So that's even worse. That's even more of a warn than the rules.
I did went in researching this game. I did see online that someone set up their game board to the exact scale of our current solar system.
Who did that?
Someone online. Look, someone who look. Obviously, these game rules are made for people to adapt them to different scenarios. Just because the way that they're written, like, leaves a lot of stuff open to interpretation.
They're a gentle guideline rather than a set of hard rules.
But a lot of it isn't. It's
Joseph,
like
I'm glad we have you saying that on record because I
Joseph,
never would
we're a
have
bunch of
believed you
nerds.
said
There's no such thing as a gentle guideline.
And aren't you going to feel bad when one of the people you play against in a tournament hears this podcast and then you're going to bring up something that is against the rules and I'm going to be like, it's not against the rules, it's a general guideline, and they're just going to throw it back in your face.
Yeah, I feel like you might have kind of shot yourself in the foot there, Joseph.
No
That would never
editing.
happen to me. And the game of
say that
attackment
now?
will end if that ever happens to me.
I'm just saying, Joseph, if I get into this game and I make it that far, I probably might pull the on you.
Joseph, at the risk of sending you into an apoplectic rage, I have 3 words for you. Co-pilot with fighters.
Yeah, exactly. So what am I worried about? All that baloney's already happening. The Wild West. We already live in the Wild West.
I mean, we actually, I guess, do. We're in California,
Yeah, okay.
so.
Well, sorry. Way to undercut my metaphor, almost.
A.
You know.
Sorry,
Nerds
Canadian,
too.
I just...
They get technical.
Don't.
See, Joseph, no gentle
Hey,
guidelines.
I great. Absolutely great.
I just heard A.
So moving back to something resembling what we were supposed to be talking about today.
Okay, so the way it starts, because this it's basically working like you have one ship.
It does
In the
operate on
rules,
that.
it operates like you have one ship. So here's my ship, and here's your ship. And so, from what it looks like, we
Yep.
do a bunch of maneuvers until we're in range of each other.
Correct.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Is this the...
Dial. Yes.
This is the dial,
She's picked-
okay.
She's picked up the Enterprise
Joseph,
team
has there
maneuver
ever
dial.
been a game where it took the players 4 or 5 moves to actually get within range of each other because they
That's
I assume yes.
every championship game ever. Yeah.
it just
It
there's
seems
too
like...
much room for people just up and not reading each other right and
But then there's also like, so it goes through the types of maneuvers, right? And then the speed, so you have to pick the speed on the dial, and difficulty, and then it's like difficulty. Some maneuvers are more difficult to execute than others. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, some of them are difficult, some of them are extremely simple. But like, it doesn't ever really say. Like, it says that some of them are difficult, but it's kind of like, well, I want to do a U-turn or whatever the red one is. Like, so I'm moving my shit. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, how difficult is it to be like, wow? Like, I don't explain. I know that there are the templates that you're like, oh, I'm gonna do a move, but can you fail at doing a move? Because it says that, oh, it's difficult, but if it's like, look, I'm on a board.
I think the failure happens when you accidentally go off the grid, and that's when it's automatic. Your ship dies.
But you can see.
Well, you can't. You judge like you pick your move before you execute it. So it's all theory, and then if your theory is wrong because it doesn't match with reality, you die.
But your ship's on the board, and then you're like,
Yeah, but the board's limited.
right, it's a
space.
3x3.
Yeah.
But if you. So the difficulty is based off of going off of the board. Is that what you are telling me?
Well, no, the
'Cause it's
difficulty.
not
So
with
Also running into ships, apparently.
actually, specifically, what you're talking about is the color of the maneuver. The green ones are easy, the white ones are medium, and the red ones are hard.
But can someone explain to me what that means? Because I mean, okay, all right, let's put it in terms of D&D. Because like I'm a, what am I? I'm a rogue, not a rogue. That's my old character. I am a, what am I?
I don't know. I don't play in your game
I'm a
anymore.
monk. I'm a monk. I'm
okay.
a monk, but I have like high agility and I can do things. But it's like difficulty of the maneuver. If I choose to like jump off a wall, kick, and then land on someone, like I have to make a roll in order to make that happen.
So the way it works is this. I'm gonna get out the box of tokens here. So there's this thing called an auxiliary power token. You remember this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is if you do a red maneuver, after doing it, you get one of those. And as long as you have one of those, you can't perform actions on your turn. And you get rid of them by doing the green maneuvers.
Only the green maneuvers? I thought they went away after a...
No, they stay around forever until you do a green maneuver.
So if I do red, 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 I can't do two reds in a row because...
Because here's the thing. If you ever do a red maneuver while you have an auxiliary power token, your opponent instead gets to choose whatever maneuver they want for you to do.
So they could fly off the edge of space?
Ida is terrified of the idea of people flying
Ida-
her off the board.
Honestly,
Is that a
it happens
thing?
all the time.
Can you
That's
fly off the
totally a
edge?
thing.
There's a card that you get to use, and you basically get to control your opponent's... What was it called? What was it? False messages?
Faked messages.
That's just fake messages.
I showed her fake messages, Joseph.
I would say that at least 5 or 6 ships are flown off per game, as an average. So you're right to be afraid.
But if we're going by the
Joseph,
rules and there's only 2 ships,
that's-
that means there's 4 extra ships that are happening.
This is
too complicated.
This is called Joseph messing with you. Do you mean per tournament?
Per game.
Do you mean per game? There are not 5 or 6 ships flown off the board per game.
Well, maybe not where you play, but around here it happens all the time.
Well, not where you play, Tucker, but apparently Joseph is on another level.
Well, that's...
And
I mean, I can't really argue with that, but at the same time, how is it? How does that go? Yes, and at the same time, a huge resounding no. From a
Editing
Knight's
break.
Tale. No, it's not. Veronica, it's not an editing break every time there's a pause. That's not. So okay.
But we're missing a person now. It just feels wrong.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess we can take an editing break. Ida went to use the restroom,
Okay.
so Veronica wants to take a pause until she gets back.
Which is polite. Tucker. Which is polite.
Well, I don't think
Tucker.
Ida minded because she wrote me a note that's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go take a bathroom break," and then went and did it.
Yeah, because she's a
So.
pro. Because she's a consummate pro.
And she knows we're nerds and like we're dedicated to our craft. She could have gone right here. It's fine.
No. No.
Dedication.
No.
By the way, is there like separate from this game kind of? Are there going to be people playing Attack Wing at Star Trek Con?
I don't actually know. Maybe.
I really want to go again, even though like I don't, but I do. Ugh, I love that convention so much.
Are you gonna get signatures if you go again?
No.
Okay.
Gross. I didn't even get that on the cruise. It was way more fun to hang out with those people and drink with them, amongst other things, versus paying them for a signature. Plus, Marina Sirtis is a and I don't care to pay her for jack diddly squat.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so where were we before we took the break?
No, there was no break. You can leave that all in.
Yeah, that's
No.
No, Marina Sirtis, this is my public message to you. You suck. That's it. It's fine. Anyway, continue.
I have no idea what we were just talking about. Okay.
I sense that you might be confused.
Bad acting to go along with the terrible makeup.
What?
Isn't she Deanna Troy?
Yes.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
So Ida.
What
Ida,
about that hair, huh?
Ida has actually two constant criticisms of Next Generation. First of all, she cannot help but criticize Deanna Troy's makeup, which
It is
fair.
terrible. Like half the time, the neck
It was-
doesn't even match the face, and then you could see because she has naturally tan skin. I thought she looked beautiful with it.
Well, you know what's good about
It's
now?
like you could see like when her hair, like it just the makeup stops where her hair falls on the back of her neck.
The best thing
Oh.
about now is that her neck just kind of merges into her face. So I don't think she has that problem anymore.
wow. There is some shit. There's some old beef between Veronica and Marina Sirtis.
My major complaint, however, is
I think that's her
Wesley.
nickname, actually, Disney.
And then the other thing that Ida does that every single Star Trek fan I think can appreciate on some level is that she quotes a particular line from Where No One Has Gone Before every single time there's a shot of the bridge, because she looks at it and it says every single time, "Why is there a child here?"
My favorite was when they flew the ship into that weird dimension that just popped out right in front of them. I'm like, why is there a child steering a ship full of 2,000 people into a dimension that they can't get a reading on? And why was this child conveniently absent when he killed the guy that was sitting in his seat?
Who's the child?
Wesley.
Oh, well, he's precocious.
No. He is a child. I was totally fine with Chekhov because Chekhov actually went to the academy and passed. Wesley could not even get into the academy.
Yeah, Ida's main objection to Wesley Crusher is that he didn't go through Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, but
that's
he
it.
became a space
He
wizard
couldn't
instead.
even get in. He failed his entrance exams. Why would anyone trust him?
Oh, season 4. Yeah, but he's still a space wizard,
No.
isn't he?
He's not certified.
When does he
Would you trust
We
someone?
haven't- we haven't-
who's a
no,
genius
no.
We
who
haven't-
can do CPR
Joseph,
or someone
Joseph,
She's
we haven't
only on.
gotten
She's
there
only
yet.
on season 4. I was just about to bring up a similar thing, but
Isn't he?
no
Isn't he?
spoilers.
I know eventually he rides off with that weird alien.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
do know about
she's
that.
seen the
Okay,
alien.
Because he
All right.
shows
Yeah,
up.
I have vague recollections of random episodes. I can't place them because I have no frame of reference.
The weird alien shows up earlier than season 4 the first time. The
Yeah,
traveler.
Yeah, I
the
know.
traveler.
That's-
But
The first time, yeah,
Yeah.
but then he doesn't write off with...
I kind of pissed that the alien referred to him as like Mozart because he is nowhere near as talented. But okay.
I mean, he is kind of a 17-year-old warp field theorist.
He can control warp fields with his mind. What have you done for me lately, Mozart?
Oh, Marriage of Figaro. Such a
Dum,
beautiful.
dum, 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 dum. That's in one of the Star Trek episodes.
Dumb. Continue.
I can't tell if she was just rushing me or she thinks that song is dumb.
I was mainly talking about Wesley in my
Ah,
head.
yes, I see. So Star Trek Attack Wing. Yes. So, how did we even get talking about any of
Maneuvers.
Yeah. Sorry, I should probably mention. I am very exhausted after a long day at work, and both Ida and Veronica have had a few prior to this. So.
There's no anything that I say, I will not apologize for because I mean every word.
One beer doesn't do that much damage. Unless you're like 5.
Never mind.
Anyway, so maneuvers, yeah. So that's how maneuvers work. Is the red ones you get the token and you can't do actions.
All right, so that makes much more sense versus because when it's going over the difficulty of the moves, it's not saying you get a token. Like that's not. It's literally not in
Let
there.
me see here. That
During the activation phase, ships may receive or remove an auxiliary power token, but it's not saying you get an auxiliary power token.
Oh, actually, hey, wow, Joseph, did you know that? She's actually right. If you do a green maneuver in the combat phase, it doesn't take off an aux. If you do a red...
It definitely does.
No, it totally doesn't. It just says, during the activation phase, ships may receive or remove what?
Wharf, man.
Friggin' Wharf. So, for Veronica and Ida's context, WARF stands for WizKids Official Rules Forum. It's where they make rulings on the cards.
Alright, it's really confusing to have an acronym that's named after a character in the game. Because when you said Worf, I'm like, but it's Picard, and then the only other add-ons are O'Brien and Geordi. So where's this Worf card? Oh no, you're talking about something else.
There's a Worf card in the starter set.
There's several Worf cards.
Why is it that... I read the rules, and it just says, like, Picard with Geordi and la la la. It doesn't go over the list of people. It literally only lists those two.
Every time I read a rule, I just get the impression of someone laughing going, nope!
Basically, look, here's my end thing after reading through all of this. I was gonna go, if I were to ever play with you, I was gonna go home, I was gonna make my own captain card of Q, and I'd come, and then I'd knock everything off the table and put my Q card down and be like, game's over, because I just changed the universe and none of you exist. Ha 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 ha. And then I'd walk away. Like, that would be my, like, done.
It's even funnier because there actually is a Q card.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't say that in the rules. How would I know?
The card stinks, too.
That's
arguable.
BS, then.
That's arguable.
Well,
That's BS.
Okay.
What, is it Q2? Is it Junior Q and he's stupid? It can't be...
It's actually very, very good, but you can't knock everyone off the table with it, that's for sure.
That's stupid.
He has a captain skill of 2.
Compared to...
Picard has a skill of 9.
I buy that. Q's not a team player.
Right, that's why everyone gets knocked off the board.
So true story. If you
Just flip the table.
If you put him on a ship with another person, where they're the captain and it's called Admirals. It was an expansion. That's why it's not in the original rules.
Is there, like, a modified rules based on all of the like something? Cause
it's coming in September now.
And to be fair, listeners, you love the game. That's cool. I'm not criticizing people who earlier I criticized people who play, but to be fair, I feel like that this would be much better in a, like, watch and learn scenario.
Okay.
Because based off of these game rules, bleh.
Okay, well, if you want, I mean, we do have the ships and stuff here. You guys could set it up and actually try to give it a go. And I could, I don't know, describe what's happening to the people at home.
Don't flip the table if it's Q.
No, I think that would be tough.
Yeah.
Now it's just a challenge. Let's do it.
No, perhaps another time.
I bet if there was another player that was experienced and would play against Tucker.
Yeah. Well.
Small community of 200 people spread over an area of 3,000 miles.
It's not 200. There's like 4,000 people in the community.
That's so tiny.
It's complicated.
Alright, fine. If you're listening to this podcast because you're interested in playing this game, don't give up based on our opinions because we are willing to try. Just know that the rules are slightly stupid. Also, if you go to the rule book and then you read the last page of the rule book, it's better than any of the rest of the rules in the book.
Oh, also their index sucks.
Yes, their index is
terrible.
Yes.
Like, my God, they couldn't even get the index right.
Yeah,
What the hell,
they're
people?
actually. So I never noticed this before, but can I see this for a second? Sorry, we have a copy of the rulebook here. Did you know that there is an entry in the index for maneuver templates, but not for maneuvers or maneuvering? And if you go there, it just directs you to the part where they talk about how the templates work, but they don't talk about maneuvering.
That was a source of a lot of anger and frustration
that's-
last night. Because I'm like, I'm going to the page, it's not there, what's not going on?
Like-
I kind of want to get a copy of this rulebook and just go over it with a red pen with all the grammatical errors and fix and just ask and then mail it back to them and saying, hey, I would love to see some changes for clarity purposes.
I think you should totally do that. Hey, you know what? You have someone that can hand deliver it to them at Origins.
How do you think that would go over, Tucker? I think well.
Mr. Parks, Mr. Guild, we have
found the credits
some
page.
creative criticism for you.
Hilarious.
The rules can stay the same. They just should, fix the problem areas, like teams. And if you can't choose a faction, have one randomly assigned to you. I mean,
Joseph, I really think we should try to pull that at some point. I think that is...
Like, at that point, do you just create, like, a faction
Actually,
wheel?
no. I would
Like
like to walk up to them and be like, what does this mean? I'm trying to get into this, and I just can't wrap my head around this.
And also, chosen at random by who? Can we fly them out to our game and make them choose for us? Because we are indecisive?
A two-sided or three-sided. Flip a coin or toss a 3 die.
And there are 3-sided dice. For anybody who's about to post an angry comment, you can Google it. They exist.
They do exist.
Yeah, go D&D.
Pretty much. Because you always need a die for your halfling size small dagger. Or I guess not in this edition.
Not in this edition.
Not in
That's
this.
older edition.
Yeah, that's an older edition.
So, yeah, like, 5th edition greatly improved D&D. So when does 5th edition come out for Attack Wing?
Well,
is that soon?
The next edition of the rulebook is going to be in September. We hope. It's been delayed a couple times, but it's coming.
How many players are going to have to build from scratch?
Good question.
I doubt it's going to be that drastic of a change.
That's actually something we've been discussing. But based on the previews, the costing system for the ships is entirely different. The power level is entirely different. They even rewrote it to help with the grammar. So it could be nothing. It could be everything. We don't know yet. We're very excited.
I'm going to bet on everything just based on their behavior thus far.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Some of these 3-sided dices are just triangles, but this...
Did you actually just Google this?
Some of them are crazy looking.
Well, I'm just saying, I can go through the D&D manual and not ever be like, about most things.
Man, you definitely did not play 2nd edition.
No, I played. I started with 3.5.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You missed the golden
And
age.
5 is easy to understand. So is Pathfinder, really.
I kind of am blindsided by the fact that you find Pathfinder easy to understand and this game complicated. I think that says something. I don't know what it says, but I think it says something.
I did. To me, I felt like the combat phase is probably the clearest part of all of the rules, and that's pretty cut and dry.
Convoluted.
Really?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It got weird, and I was just like, at one point I gave up and told Tucker, show me a demonstration, because I'm not going to wrap my head around this.
I feel like it's similar to D&D, and that, like, you roll an attack roll, they have a defense roll.
Yeah, and so, just for context, Ida has not played D&D. Ida is a board gamer, primarily. Ida is extremely good at coup. And I'm going to say all hundreds of you people, all hundreds of you people listening, if she tells you that she never bluffs, she is lying, and we have proved it.
You're so mean.
I got you the promo cards from Origins. Don't even give me that.
I got caught once, and it was long after the fact that anyone can do anything about it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glaring at her. You can't tell, but I'm glaring at her.
Look, most women are manipulative liars. I don't understand why anyone would think that you
I
weren't.
agree. No, like, for centuries, that was the only way they could survive.
Yeah.
And let's not go down that road. So, but going back to combat, I would actually agree, Joseph. I don't know if you feel this way. I think combat is the most clear part of the game.
Okay, actually, what confused me was the token parts. Like, do you choose... Yeah. I don't... It just seems like you're going to have a lot of floating tokens around your ship, and I don't know how things move about, or do you all just keep that up the side?
Well, like, it shows it in the thing, like, here's your ship, and then you just dump tokens on the ground around it.
It just seems like...
Look, if you have OCD, this isn't the game for you. Like, it just...
I'm just saying, it's like... This board ship has a hull of, or like, how many shields? 7?
Yeah, I got
That's pretty annoying.
So I've got
7 shield tokens surrounding this tiny little ship.
You
and
just put them in a stack. Like, you don't set it up like...
no,
like
you
a dome.
no. Like the cards for the ships, you keep them off to the side, and you put the shield tokens on those. Also, for those
This
who
makes it look like it's next to the ships.
Yeah.
well, no, that's the target lock tokens, not like the shield tokens.
Their tokens are tokens. I don't
It
understand.
they don't specify. They just say tokens.
The tokens, Tucker. Won't someone please think of the tokens?
I'm actually running through this. Joseph, is there a part of the rule book that says where the... Or no. The visual thing. See, the shield tokens are next to the thing.
Yeah, it also just shows a random pile of other stuff.
You know what I thought this was? You know how, like, if you're building furniture from IKEA, it shows you all of the items
Yes,
with
yes,
numbers
yes.
next to it? I
That
was
is
just
what
like,
it looks like.
hello, this is what's in your box.
This
like,
is what you're supposed to have. All of this
Right.
and nothing else.
No.
Number 13,
this
miscellaneous tokens. This is literally how you're supposed to set it up.
Yes.
Well, now I know.
Does that help?
It's still stupid, but sure.
So, Joseph, I never actually got your answer. Do you think that combat is the most, like, easy to understand part of the game?
Yeah, I think there's a few wrinkles later on, but I think for a beginner it would be the easiest to understand.
Yeah, also, I don't know if you guys caught it, but that was Ida complaining about how a board ship has too many hull points and shield points. 2 days, I swear. And she didn't
Oh,
look
this
at...
is easily overpowered. I mean, like... What? I think
They are
lowest
the
number-
Borg.
Yeah. I mean, duh, it was the 80s, I know, I need to let it go, but it's like, I thought it was really convenient that, you know, they defeated the Borg within 2 episodes. Or, like, that particular Borg ship.
Man, you're gonna hate Voyager.
Yeah, wow, good point.
Voyager's so good.
I'm just saying, I'm used to Stargate, where it took, like, you know, an entire season to wipe out one Gould Lord.
Wait,
Yeah, but-
wouldn't she like Voyager more? She would like Voyager more.
I don't know.
They killed like 50 Borg ships in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But there's species 8417.
That's true.
No, the Voyager does it.
That's true.
The Voyager
Is
just...
Voyager the one with the captain that just decided that she was bipolar and went with it?
This is Catherine Janeway.
Yes, that one.
That's actually, for those who don't know, that is true Star Trek trivia. If you've ever felt the writing on Voyager was a little schizophrenic, Kate Mulgrew agreed, and by season 5 was basically just decided that she's bipolar.
You would think, what was it, 400 years into the future, they'd have a better way to deal with that.
But isn't the point of Star Trek that some human issues persist?
They got
What,
rid of
like-
racism.
Like women
They should
are
be able to
overly
get rid of-
emotional and make stupid decisions based on their stupid emotion?
Oh,
Like
and
that?
how that incredibly sexist episode of Next Gen where the guy was like the super yuppie lawyer who was hitting on Deanna Troi in like the worst way possible.
The sad thing is, I don't actually know which episode you're talking about.
The
Just
dude who was
because-
also a betazoid or quarter
That one, the negotiator with the trades and the...
in the wormhole.
Yeah, that time a skeezy guy was hitting on Deanna Troi. Okay.
I just thought I'm actually much more sad that Janeway wasn't a stronger captain. Like if they were trying to do a strong female presence because she was just
Well, we've
stupid
got
emotional decisions.
We've got Michelle Cho coming, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
For the premiere anyway.
We'll see about that.
Oh, yeah,
Do I look? I love Star Trek. Do I want to shell out money to CBS to watch it online on their special? No, it's not even going to be on the air.
You have to though. It's Star Trek.
It's not?
How can you resist?
We're internet nerds, so someone's gonna pirate that shit.
We do
post
not
it for free.
advocate piracy on this podcast. State of the Federation does not endorse pirating things. Please support the official
We
release.
stole it, man. We stole it, man.
What?
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not encouraging other people to do it, but people are gonna do it. It's like peeing in the elevator.
It's a community, you know. People share things. That's
Wait, did you say it's like peeing in an elevator?
I'm talking about metro stuff, like metro stations. Like those elevators are disgusting.
But see, now you're clarifying saying metro stations. It seems like people are going to do it, like peeing in elevators, as if that were like a commonplace, any building type
Have you
of like.
taken any of the elevators in downtown for the metro stations?
No, because that's
Yes,
it's a
that's
toilet.
why.
But I'm glad that you're clarifying this Metro. I thought you just meant like, no, in my building at work, you gotta go. It's an elevator. Everyone does it.
Oh, you wouldn't want to do it at my work. It's a 1920s theater, and the elevator's super
I've never
tiny.
peed in a 1920s theater, and now I want to mark it off my bucket list. So,
Oh, that got weird. Remember when this was a podcast about Attack Wing?
well,
Happens when you
well,
bring in
look.
outsiders, Tucker. Are you
Well,
proud of yourself?
no. While I'm peeing in that elevator, I'm definitely thinking about Attack Wing. Let me tell you.
The description of this podcast should involve the word Dada-esque for sure.
But you also need to hashtag it, girls. You have to.
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Oh, that's why."
I think maybe this isn't the time to bring up the thing about the generic captains.
Oh, totally want to. What was her name? Rachel.
So I explained to
If
I
it
didn't.
pisses off a lot of people, I totally want to do it.
So in this game, there's a thing. If you don't want to run Picard or somebody, you can pay 0 points and run a generic
Who
captain.
doesn't want to run Picard? Stupid.
2 days.
Less than a day.
2 days. 2 days.
He has a captain score point of
Oh.
9.
Do I say
Ooh, let's-
Gorn captain? How the hell is this possible?
Joseph, what are we doing?
What do you
had an
think?
idea. What is it?
What do you ladies think the captain skill should be of the major captains?
I think that the
Oh.
top captain skill should straight up just be Picard.
So, captain.
Quoting Shakespeare.
Like
in
it
a very
goes from
beautiful voice.
1 to Picard. Like that's what I assume it is.
So
It-
9's the
Janeway's
highest.
like a
Oh no,
3.
it's you know that Q, the female Q,
Yes.
she's the highest. But
Man,
She's making a weird face.
Veronica just made the best face.
She's not impressed.
The female Q.
Is skill 10. She's the only skill 10 captain in the game.
The one from Voyager who made Q2. Technically.
Yes. Let's not spoil Ida, but yes.
Ida's not gonna get through season 1 of Voyager.
Yeah, don't give up on Ida.
I'm not giving up
I don't
on
know.
her.
And
I
Ida-
did skip over 1 or 2 next gen episodes because I'm like, do I really need to
No,
watch
the
this?
only one we
Just
skipped
don't.
over was
Okay.
Shades of Grey, which is literally a clip show.
I saw the comedy one.
Oh, that's right. She skipped all the parts
whoa,
with
whoa, you skipped Joe Piscopo?
What about
Yes.
when they went to Space Africa? Did you skip that?
No, we watched Space Africa.
No, that one got interesting towards the end.
Yeah, it's interesting the whole way
Joe
through, but
Piscopo would be sad.
it's racist.
Joe Piscopo performed at the cruise. He's still funny.
Who?
Joe Piscopo.
You were trapped on a cruise ship with Joe
I
Piscopo?
don't think she was trapped. She seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah. And also
She
the other
tracked him.
oh god, I can't remember his name. The guy from Deep Space Nine.
Vic Fontaine.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he can
he's
sing.
tops.
I mean, the thing
So
is,
can
like,
Joe Piscopo.
well, seriously?
Yes.
He's Joe Piscopo.
Oh.
He was on Saturday Night Live in the 80s during the point that it was terrible, but he was the only good character. He did all the old Frank Sinatra skits.
Huh. I actually learned something today, and it was about Joe Piscopo, which I didn't think would be the case. So going back to Attack Wing.
How did we
But
know?
let's hang on. Let's keep going.
Wait, generic captains is what we started talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
Oh my god.
I totally like the idea. I totally like Joseph's idea better though of having you guys rate the captains.
Oh yeah, wait. So the female Q. That's how we got off on this.
Yeah.
So how does she have the top score?
Because she's omnipotent and goes first.
So then why doesn't Q get to be that?
Because
that's his entire race.
because
They're
Q is
gods.
because Q is really just terrible at life.
What about the Q who wants to die?
Quinn,
Yeah.
he's an upgrade card. He's not a captain.
So what's the rank of the Borg Queen?
Well, let's ask this. So it's 1 to 9 for
What would
everyone else. What do you think it should be for the Borg Queen?
Yes.
6.
The first contact
depend-
Borg Queen, FYI.
Oh, I guess it would depend on where
8.
she is in the series, because I think she started out strong and then she got weird.
Because based on like end game 6.
But so Void so Endgame Borg Queen 6 and first contact Borg Queen. I think that's actually right, isn't it?
8.
I know there's a skill 6 Borg Queen. I know there's a skill 8 Borg Queen. There is a skill 6 Borg Queen, right, Joseph?
Not in this reality, I don't think.
Are there Borg Queens?
there
Are there
is.
Borg Queens based on
It's the
what
Genki one, isn't
timeline
it?
they come from? Also, what timeline are we in?
Yeah, 6-point Borg Queen from the oversized cube with sphere.
Yay.
Oh, there you go.
I win.
So no, wait, that's first contact Borg Queen is 6. That doesn't make any kind of sense. That means Voyager Borg... Yeah, because Voyager Borg Queen is on the tactical cube, so she's the skill 8. That's stupid.
So it's backwards?
It's backwards. I completely agree with you. That's backwards.
Whoever created that is dyslexic.
And you said that these people are Star Trek fans and they love
Well, they're
it.
Voyager fans, so they're biased in favor of Voyager. Some of the best cards in the game are
Yeah,
Voyager
'cause-
cards.
Voyager Borg Queen needs to be lesser. She was flawed.
Guess what Janeway's captain skill
She
is?
developed individuality.
What's
Quick
Janeway?
downfall.
What do you think Janeway's captain skill?
3.
Ida, you haven't seen Voyager yet. Janeway is skill
5.
8.
Why? She's
What's Cisco?
Guess.
Given the fact that they're Voyager fans and not Deep Space Nine, I guess that he's a 5.
In his first appearance, he was a 6, and people threw a fit.
I was basing it off of what I assumed if people like Voyager, they probably didn't like him. So that makes sense if he were a 6 and people got angry.
Yeah, they made a version of him. They later made a skill 8, I think,
Yeah.
right? And then they made one. They also made one that I liked that was skill 7, but every time the ship took damage, he got higher captain skill, which I think was actually a pretty good representation of him.
Wait. How does it get higher captain skill?
He gets +1 captain skill for every damage card on your ship.
My other question is, if they have Mirror Universe, why don't they have the not Prime people?
The new movies,
Yeah.
licensing, I think.
It's just saying, if you're going to include Mirror Universe or Voyager crap and make it priority 1, you might as well include the not Prime people.
Did you say Voyager crap?
She hasn't seen it yet. Just roll with it. She'll
Don't
get there.
judge it. I mean, look, it's very flawed, but it's also very good. Is Squealix in this game? Is he like a level 2?
He's not.
There isn't a Neelix card, is there?
Thank God.
What a mercy.
I know, but I just realized
For now.
there are 2 the Doctor cards. There are 2, not just one. There are 2.
I feel like if there were a Neelix card, like whoever was manufacturing the game burned them before they made it into the set.
Neelix is the Jar Jar Binks of Star Trek before Jar Jar Binks. He's the most unforgivable character of all the shows.
Well, I also thought Tuvok was he's not my favorite Vulcan. So then when they merged him into Tuvix, they should have just killed him.
Arguably, they did,
No,
Probably
they both went back to being their respective persons.
but they killed the person that was Tuvix, and that was the moral crux
Yeah,
of
but
the episode.
But it's like
She's saying
you thought
that
Neelix was
killed-
ugly. Jesus Christo.
Yeah.
Tuvix.
Yeah, Tuvix was not winning any beauty
It was a
pageants.
monstrosity.
Tuvix was not winning any Trump Proctor beauty pageants.
And you can't even say that, well, at least, that would take a mother's love because he didn't technically have one. It was very sad.
Janeway, arguably.
Ugh.
There's love and then there's pity.
She says, looking at me.
Even Naomi Wildman didn't want to hang out with him.
That's true. That's a good point. And Naomi Wildman exists to make you feel better for characters. It's a kid.
She'll find out.
She'll find out.
Child.
She's
Let's see, who else would I think would have a card? Oh, the other doctor from Next Gen whose name I can't remember because no one cares.
Pulaski.
Pulaski.
I liked her.
Pulaski doesn't have a card,
What
and
the
it's
hell? I would even take her as a generic captain. She was a fun character.
I think she should have a card, but only in the Sherlock Holmes outfit.
They did just do Sherlock Holmes data, so that actually, I guess, is a thing.
Wait, so they'll do Sherlock Holmes data, but not non-Prime people.
They'll do Sherlock Holmes data and not normal Pulaski.
It seems like when they're running out of characters to act as cards or whatever, they just they just keep, I don't know.
Andrew Parks and Christopher Guild. When are the non-prime cards coming? Soon? Soon? September with the rulebook?
2 days, guys.
Or, next year. Whenever. If ever.
Just saying. Is 7 of 9 and 11? I bet she is.
7 and 9 is not a captain. She's an upgrade. But she's a really good upgrade. The Delta Flyer
Damn
one, anyway.
straight she is. She was a
What
damn
about
good upgrade for
35?
Voyager in general, so it makes sense.
Heyo, what?
3rd of 5.
Hugh? Yeah, he's a captain.
What?
Yeah, they actually...
Wait, how does he get to be a captain? She's not.
Because Q was actually the captain of the scout cube he was on. They have both versions. They have the Borg version and they have the Hugh version.
Oh.
But hilariously, 2nd of 5 is just way better. Okay, I think probably we should call it here, and then maybe we can do this again sometime. This was fun.
Get them to play a game,
I-
and then we'll do their reactions after they finish the game.
I think that's a great idea. But I want to end with a story. It's actually a D&D story. Back when I lived down in a place called Torrance, which is known for not having a huge nerd community, I was living with a former Army, former infantryman, and his girlfriend, and another roommate who doesn't factor into the story. Well, my girlfriend at the time had always wanted to play D&D and expressed this sentiment around my roommates, and he was and he was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to play D&D too," and his girlfriend was like, "Yeah." So they got my ex, basically, those two, that couple, and one of their buddies who was a Marine together to play D&D. Now, I want to emphasize these people not only had never played D&D, but they were completely disconnected from nerd culture. Oh, and they got the Marine's girlfriend to play too. So there were 5 of them, right? By the end of it, the barbarian had almost accidentally killed everyone. The cleric had completely checked out to do something else. The wizard didn't know what any of her spells did. The fighter was almost dead, and the rogue tried to backstab everybody and steal all the loot.
Just like any
Okay.
game of D&D.
Just like any game of D&D, even though they'd never experienced it. The point of this story is, I love how in less than 2 days, both Ida and Veronica have developed into a microcosm of the entire Star Trek Attack Wing community, without ever being connected to them.
Well,
I think that's hilarious.
I feel like, I don't know, based on the numbers that I might have overheard earlier, we're like 5% of the whole community. So I feel like we have a say. That's all.
More importantly, we have a platform.
We do.
Oh God, what have I done? All right, that's it. We're done.
And again, to any of the listeners, any of the views expressed by my voice are mine alone. And if you want to take it up with me, go right ahead.
At your own peril.
She
At
will
your own
kill you.
peril.
At your own peril. That is serious. But all right, I think that is enough for one night. Thank you both, Ida and Veronica, for coming on with us.
You bet.
Any final thoughts, you guys?
Does Trip have a card?
Yes.
But he's...
Spoilers.
She's not gonna
What-
watch
what
that
point
either,
number is he?
Tucker.
Is it 1?
He's an upgrade.
Is Natasha Yara captain?
No. What? No.
Wait.
Why would she not? Why would she be a captain?
Oh,
I
the
don't know.
Romulan Tasha Yar.
Spoilers.
I don't remember what season that takes place in.
Okay. I think that's it. Joseph, any last words?
I don't have anything that could top that. To be
Great.
perfectly
Well, thanks for listening, folks. We will see you in our regular time. Probably Robert will be back for that one. Do we actually know what Robert's doing?
I don't know if he's ever coming back.
You don't
I-
want to know what Robert's
We
doing.
may not. I have no idea. All right. Well, anyway.
I have one final question. Does Wesley have a card and does it break the game?
No and yes and no. As in, he has a card and it doesn't. It's not even that good.
Oh, finally, something realistic because he is a child.
It's bad. It's
I don't think
It's
it's that
terrible.
bad.
Make it so.
it's hyper bad.
I trust your. Anyway, let me read.
Is it bad as in useless or bad as in like?
As in useless. It's not that. Well, thanks again for everybody joining us tonight. If you like the show, go ahead and give us a good review over on iTunes. You can also message us through our Facebook page if you want to get in contact with us. We'll see you next time, but for now, dials down and may Q be generous with your dice.
State of the Federation is a non-profit fan-based production of Tucker Kobe, Joseph Vanderyacht, and Robert Fletcher. Star Trek Attack Wing, and all other copyrights are owned by their respective copyright holders. State of the Federation original concept created by William Sanchez.